ahead of tomorrow's game against Maidstone United here at Management Stadium. How are you preparing for tomorrow's game?
Well, the prep's done. We've had a really good training session this morning. Plenty enthusiasm, plenty endeavour, and a group that, to me, look like they want to get down to work. So the important thing is the result at the end of the day. We know, and we understand through not playing at the weekend, the table hasn't moved that much, but we're going to concentrate on one game at a time. They're going to come up thick and fast. But we're really looking forward to this one. Like I said, having a game called off at the weekend is a little unusual. Saturday games rarely get called off, but for the lads to be without the game, it meant the staff got out and watched some games, some players, some opposition, and like I said, we lightened the load on the lads because of what's coming up now. If you look, into the future, we're playing Saturday, Tuesday now, probably until the end, or certainly the middle of March at the minimum. So it's going to be a tough period in terms of workload, but there's nothing better than playing games if you start producing results with them games.
And obviously, you talk about those fixtures coming up. We haven't had a game for 10 days. How are we keeping the lads switched on?
Well, to be fair, we prepped as we normally do into the Chesham game on Saturday, and unfortunately, for nobody's fault, the game wasn't able to be played. So, other than the game in the middle of the training sessions from Friday to Monday, then the lads have had a bit of a breather, to be honest. So, we're hoping to be really fresh, invigorated, if you like. And despite not winning the last game, we didn't lose the last game. So, we want to create some momentum. I implore to the fans to be together with us. We'll be stronger together, and I feel everybody in the building wants the same thing. We all want to win football matches. We all want the ultimate end game. So, I want us to show a really united front tomorrow and going forward, home and away. We all want the same thing as what the fans want. And I know it's not been great weather of late, but it's a cosy little place to come and watch football on Tuesday night. So I'd like to, invite as many people as they can to come and watch, because I know Maidstone will bring a good following. They're well supported, but we've got to make this place a difficult place to come. That's our job on the pitch, but off the pitch, that's up to the supporters.
In terms of personnel, Matt Burgess obviously comes into the squad. Why him?
Well, he's somebody that I've liked for a while. I've known him since he was at Bournemouth as a young player. He's coming from a club that have been used to winning every week, or most weeks, and he's been in and around or playing in that environment. So, that's one thing. I think his profile fits the type of player that I like. He's technically sound off both sides. He can play in a couple of 3 positions in the middle of the park. And he wants to play football as well. With all due respect, I've knocked on the door of many clubs and many players, but not everybody wants to come and put themselves in the situation where ultimately you're putting yourself in a difficult situation to be able to perform at your best amongst a group of people who maybe haven't been performing at theirs. So I think that shows a lot of character on the lad's part, and he's fitted in really well in the training sessions. Like I said, it looks like he does what it says on the tin, and that's usually a good thing for a manager. But whether he starts or whether he comes from the side up, during the game, we're yet to see. But ultimately, I think he'd be a really good addition for us. He's only here for a month initially, but you never know, it could go beyond that.
And obviously tomorrow night we face Maidstone here. What do we know about them?
Well, with the second game I took charge of when I first come in, and I remember thinking, once they end up winning comfortably because they scored at the end of the game again, there wasn't a lot in the game. But they were a good side. George has got his way of playing. They're very, very functional at what they do. He's got a lot of square pegs and square holes. And they do give a goal threat. They're tenacious. They battle like George used to do. So I don't think there's anything hidden. We know what they've got. We know what we've got to face. Ultimately, we've got to win our individual battles on the park, and then we've got to make sure we impart our will on them more than they do on us. I think at the end of the day, it's a game where there's 3 points up for grabs. We want them 3 points. I'm sure they do too. But ultimately, at the end of the game, half the players on the pitch will be losers, and let's hope it's not us this weekend.